The one industry that Democrats used to be able to count on for guaranteed support was popular culture. Sports stars and actors, actresses, singers, Hollywood agents, they all backed the Democrat Party in lockstep. You wouldn't dare get out of line. But Democrats are so uniquely bad at governance that they've even lost that subsection of society. Hollywood executives are openly backing, supporting, and donating to Spencer Pratt. The Starbucks guy just moved to Miami. Sports stars, quarterbacks for NFL franchises are introducing Donald Trump at MAGA rallies, and major sports franchises are crashing out on the Democrat superstructure cities that birthed them. The Bears are officially leaving Chicago, ending this bit from SNL, one of my favorite bits ever. Chris Farley, absolute legend, having a heart attack on camera, and now Bears fans are having a heart attack. Why would the Bears stay in Chicago? Let me ask you that question just real fast before we get into the official statements or what news just broke, because it just broke, and what the team is saying and what corrupt politicians are saying in Illinois. Why would anybody want to stay in Chicago? We just ask that, even if you don't run an NFL franchise. I don't. I assume you don't. Why would you ever stay in Chicago? Chicago is one of the most violent cities in the world. It has a violent crime rate that is significantly higher than the national average. It has a skyrocketing homicide rate. Gang violence all throughout the city. Robberies, carjacking, and street crime have skyrocketed. The perceptions have destroyed neighborhoods all throughout Chicago. It has brutally cold winters. It has very high taxes, a sales tax of 10%. Property taxes are excruciating. Overall cost of living is well above average. The traffic ranks the worst in the United States. And not because they have so many people, but because they just have incompetent builders and corrupt unions and city governance that skim off the top. None of the projects ever get done. It's like the high-speed rail in California. Why would anybody ever want to live in Chicago? Why would you ever want to keep your franchise in a state that is run like this, that is this corrupt? Look at these congressional districts. Look at how they're able to draw the congressional lines in the state of Illinois. It's sickening. It's a rigged system. Why not go right across the border to Indiana, where President Trump won by 20 points on election night? He got nearly 1 million more votes than Kamala Harris. He got 60% of the vote. Kamala couldn't even crack 40, and Donald Trump won all Indiana counties except for 3. Yeah, that's where the Bears say we're heading, and they just made it official seconds ago. You can see this. Real post, 2 million views, 4,000 reposts, 10,000 likes from the official Chicago Bears verified account. A statement from the Bears. Yesterday, Chicago Bears Board of Directors met and voted to advance our stadium development project in Hammond, Indiana. With the exact site to be selected, we believe the world-class stadium project in Hammond, Indiana, will transform the region connecting Northwest Indiana and south side of Chicago through the loop and across neighborhoods and suburbs stretching north of the city. It'll bring Chicagoland together to deliver new opportunities for residents and businesses. No longer the Chicago Bears. What does AI say about this? Well, the reason why the Chicago Bears are moving and going to build a $4 billion stadium in a place you've never heard of in Indiana is pretty easy. The primary hurdle in Illinois was the tax structure. Without favorable mega project legislation, the Bears were facing a property tax bill of $150 million a year annually. What'd they do in Indiana? In Indiana, they just said, no, we're just going to get rid of that. We'll actually pay you to build your stadium here. So in what universe are you going to turn that down? $150 million a year. $150 million a year. You know how much? The franchise still has to pay for players, right? That goes directly into your salary cap. That goes directly into your capacity to get winning Super Bowl teams. Not only that, you have a much safer area that is filled with much better clientele that won't get carjacked or robbed on their way into the game. Far less traffic. Chicago Bears say that they're going to advance the stadium after the Indiana state legislature did do something smart. instead of getting rid of their Democrat districts, they ended up passing a bill. They passed an Indiana stadium bill that accelerated the capacity for an NFL team to use Indiana tax-free, effectively, and to build an Indiana tax-free. In fact, they'll do a profit share with the team. They'll effectively pay the team to move in to Hammond, Indiana. Look, this is Hammond, Indiana. So it's very close to the border here. Here's the border. You can see the welcome to Indiana sign. It's scenic, frankly. It's scenic, honestly. Like most things in this part of the world are. That this is the border. So it's very close. It has plenty of infrastructure. There you can see that this is called the East. This is called East Chicago right here. This is a casino in Indiana that's called the Chicago Casino, but it's in Indiana, right there on the lakefront. And here's Chicago itself. So you need to come down here. There's two major interstates that come down here. It's sort of at a big interstate cross-section between 294 and 94. And this would be Hammond, Indiana. What does it look like? Well, it looks like this. It's nice, pleasant. What a nice little Midwestern city should look like. Wow, look at that. You can go to a music concert. There's like some river there. Some nice cities. There's some renderings of what the stadium would look like, Hammond, Indiana. Actually, the stadium renderings are amazing. Look at this. Boom. And you know what? In a place like Hammond, Indiana, you not only would you not have to pay a $150 million tax bill per year, but you can also build something like this. You could build something incredible. You could build the greatest stadium ever seen in America because they have enough room. You know, you'd have enough space and you have this town infrastructure where you could really zoom out and do something special. Again, look at like go ahead and look at you can look at the map here. Hammond, Indiana, you have nothing but space. Why not build here? You knock out this golf course and just build there. There's a Panera Bread and a Cracker Barrel and a pizza shop. People in Chicago are losing their minds. The mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson.
Face straight.
Communist.
Okay. Is my face straight? Okay.
Oh.
All right. Keep a straight face here. The Bears belong in the city of Chicago. The Chicago Bears belong in the city of Chicago.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And I've said repeatedly that the door is always open for conversations, you know, and, you know, Kevin Warren did call me yesterday. We didn't get a chance to connect, you know, and I still firmly believe that their best position is in Chicago, and it's evidence. The evidence is clearly speaking for itself.
Oh, really? Well, they just moved. And they just destroyed your political career. This guy, Democrats will never win again in Chicago. They'll never win again.
The Bears are throwing cold water on Mayor Johnson's bid to keep the team in Chicago. The team released a statement reading, quote, "The Chicago Bears have exhausted every opportunity to stay in Chicago, which was our initial goal. There is not a viable site in the city." In recent weeks, Mayor Johnson's been lobbying against the so-called mega projects bill, which would facilitate the team's move to Arlington Heights, saying he has a plan to keep the team in Chicago. But the Bears say the only sites under consideration are Hammond, Indiana, and Arlington Heights.
And now they've destroyed. I think they've destroyed Democrats forever in the state of Illinois. I think that Illinois will go red after this. The General Assembly's breathtaking decision to fumble the ball and adjourn without doing anything for the Bears has left Hammond, Indiana in the driver's seat. The legislature essentially called the Bears bluff, daring them to make the jump across the border. But they did. And now it's done. Trade deal. Indiana gets the Chicago Bears and a new space-age stadium, billions in new tourism, and Chicago gets a DEI garbage can. The Obama Library. Come on. J.B. Pritzker and Brandon Johnson are incompetent. Look at this. The Bears are leaving. Chicago's crumbling. Thanks, Governor Pritzker. Welcome home. The Indiana Bears. Dumb and dumber. There you go. Indiana Bears. It's happening. It'll be safer because people won't get shot and killed during the games. Okay, did I do that? There you go. Yeah. J.B. Pritzker, state legislature, said they were not interested in helping the Bears. Indiana did it in a month, what Illinois refused to do, and then they adjourned without taking up the issue. Hoosiers helped me to welcome the Bears to our great state, says the governor of Indiana, Mike Braun. We look forward to building a partnership as strong as the 85 Bears defense, creating opportunities and economic growth that will benefit the state. NFL franchise in Northwest Indiana will be an economic boost, the entire region we have never seen before. Thank you to the legislature. This is what it looks like to competently run your state. Cost decision to build a Bears stadium. Hammond, 0 taxes for 40 years. $1 billion in funds from Indiana for the stadium. $700 million for infrastructure. A $200 million tax bill if you stayed in Chicago. 0 funds for the stadium. 0 infrastructure costs covered. Easiest decision ever. Easiest decision ever. And Indiana sitting there and celebrating it. Good for you. That's amazing. It's amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, what should happen? I mean, this is funny. This is a member of Congress saying that we could actually take counties. Why not just take counties from Illinois too? Do the Greater Indiana Project, where Indiana just takes over all the red counties of Illinois, and everybody can just live in their rat-infested hellscape of Chicago. Too bad. Democrats have lost culture. What do you think? Are you a sports fan? What do you think about this? Would you go to a game at the new Indiana Bears Stadium? It's happening, ladies and gentlemen. Good things are happening. You just got to know where to look. You got to keep up the energy. We're going to win. It's your boy Benny.